Looking for an exciting way to get outside and support a great cause? Join The Hunt, a fun, adventurous series of missions that will have you exploring the beauty of Dane County while raising money for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Teams of up to 10 people can participate, making it the perfect opportunity to bring together friends, family, colleagues, bigs, littles, and anyone who loves a little friendly competition. From April 25th through May 18th, take on engaging challenges, explore your community, and make a positive impact along the way. Sign up your team today or get your company involved by sponsoring the event. Don't miss out on the fun. You can visit bbbsmadison.org/events to get started. The Hunt, adventure, competition, and giving back. You are listening to The Big Difference Podcast, a podcast about empowering youth and strengthening communities through the transformative power of mentorship. I'm your host, Tracy Anderson, Community Partnerships Manager at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. And welcome. We are so excited to have an empowering conversation with one of our amazing guests. So today we are talking about being a match support specialist, and we have joining us Monica Martinez with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. Hi, Monica.
Hi, Tracy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for choosing me.
I did choose you, and I just love seeing your shining face, like sitting across from me.
Oh, thank you.
And there's so many reasons why I chose you. So I think all of the match support specialists are amazing at what everybody does. We all work so hard at the organization.
Yes, we do.
And one of the reasons why I really wanted to do this episode is because I don't think people know much about match support specialists, and you really need to for so many different reasons.
You do. You really do, because I feel like sometimes we are the heart of the agency, because we communicate with our families.
Yes.
And we have over 200 families, 300 families,
Wow.
and just climbing. Each of us have at least a good 70 to 80 matches.
Oh my gosh.
So it's
that puts it in perspective.
It does.
Well, let's just dive right in then, because, I do believe too, like as me being reaching out in the community all the time and spreading our mission and talking about the organization, I bet even more people would sign up to be mentors if they knew they got a match support, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that's exactly the perfect word for it, is support.
Yes.
Because that's exactly what we do for
Yeah.
all of our matches, our bigs, and individually, the big, the parent, the little.
Yeah.
Like, we talk to all three of them.
Yes.
So we are exactly that, the support.
Yeah, you're not alone in this.
Mm-hmm.
So before we dive in, I want you to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself. So you are a match support specialist at Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yes, I am bilingual.
And which is amazing. So tell us about you, like what you love to do, what led you to be a match support specialist?
Well, I've always wanted to be with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, kids have been in my life for like 20 years plus. I started with early education, and I just proceeded from there, and just knowing that I'm helping children still, like, it warms my heart. And I guess for me personally, I am a mother of two. I've got my Luna and my Tiago.
Mm-hmm.
They're my heart and soul. I love them to death. And my dog, she's a little Shiba Inu, so she's one of those foxy dogs.
Yeah.
So
Gotta have a foxy dog.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She is.
Yes.
But being part of this agency really has brought a sense of gratification for sure. So I love my job. I really do.
How long have you been match support?
I've been match support for about 3 years.
Okay.
Going on 4. So
Why do you think you've stayed in the role so long?
I think just that, the gratification, the trials that we go through with each match that we have is a learning experience for us and a learning experience for them. Yeah. So we are coaching each other through everything. We're supporting each other through everything, and knowing that we can be real with each other and eventually become like what's family like.
Yes.
So it's definitely what's kept me here. So
that's good. Yeah. So what exactly does a match support do? So I want to ask this question. I think it's extremely important. Mm-hmm. We were kind of having a conversation before, we started this podcast. Mm-hmm. But you being at the agency for 3 years, me being outreach for over 2, people don't know they get a match support. So explain to the podcast listeners, what do you do?
So we do many things. Actually, we really do. Yeah. So we initiate a match meeting. So that's where we first meet the big, the parent, and the little. And it's usually at the parent's home. And we just get a feel on how the little and the big are going to interact, how the parent's going to interact. And we go from there. And, you know, it's always, again, gratification when you see how excited that little is, jumping up and down, saying, oh my gosh, they're here. You know, like that's exactly, you know, the type of excitement we want to see in our littles. So it's just, Oh,
that's awesome. What would you say has been the most rewarding part of being a match support?
The challenges that we see and the overcome afterwards. After that. So basically, you know, we think about a child that is afraid of trying something new. And the big's like, what do I do? And I'm like, just start small. Start small. Whatever it is, just start small and then go from there. If it's as easy as trying new food, you know, just start small. And then go from there. But I think also what we do is when we speak to the bigs, the littles, and the parents, we speak to them every month. You know, and then we speak to them after a year. We speak to them every 3 months. But that doesn't mean they're limited to, we're going to speak just 3 months later.
Right.
No, it's you can communicate whenever you feel like you need to communicate.
So the first year when someone's matched, you check in with them on a monthly basis.
Correct.
Okay. And then after that, it's quarterly. It's like every 3 months.
Yep.
But then they can call you just whenever they need something.
Exactly. Exactly. If they have a question about the big or what the big, you know, or if the big has a question about the parent, like, you know, so it's all about that, again, communication. That's so important.
So you do that all with like the parent, the little, and the big. Okay. That's a lot of checking in.
It is a lot of checking in.
Like just coordinating schedules to talk to people.
Exactly.
That's tough.
You know, and that's why I love that we have the Acuity link. Like I use my Acuity link with my bigs, my parents, and you know, my parents, can you just text me? Cool, I can do that. You know, if that's what they ask me to do, then I will do that. But my bigs are really big on the Acuity link. They like that.
So this kind of brings a question to mind. So are you like on 24/7? Like, are you getting messages or calls? Like,
I do get them all the time. But like for that balance for me, for my personal life, I do, you know, balance that out because I have to. It's I'm a mom, right? You know, it's like though they are important just as much as my families are, but I balance that. So if it is a pure 911, then that's right. Time is on for them. Like that's what I do. But if it's not, if it's like just have a random question, then the following day, hey, I'm clocked on. Like, like, you know, So
how do you think being a match support specialist has impacted your life personally?
I think for me, it really has appreciated my community a lot more. I think seeing so many different walks of life come through and just having their little and just picking them up too. It just is, it is great to see our community come together. And being a part of that. And being a part of that is just, I wish everybody could see it and feel it. Like it is so great.
You literally light up when you talk about being a match support. You are just a beam of light.
Well, I love it. I really do. It's I mean, my go-to is always the match meetings. Like I let them know this is the first time I'm meeting you guys. I don't want it to be the last. So please know that I would love to see your face virtually, or we could have coffee. Like, you know, I want to let them know that it's not just phone call.
Right.
You know? So
that's nice. So sometimes you do that, like meet a parent for coffee or a big or something. Wow, that's really
not all
good.
The time, but sometimes. The ones that really want to see me. And I'm like, I want to see you too. So let's do it.
So why do you think mentorship is so important for today's youth?
Oh, geez, it's for so many reasons. I mean, it's a wild, crazy world out there.
Mm-hmm,
you know?
It is.
And I'm a mom, and I see it, I hear it. Not just me being a mom, but just hearing some stuff from the parents, like their child is going through something and they don't know how to get through it. What can we do to help? Right. And then that's when I provide what we can, our references of like the 211 and stuff like that, you know, the parents can reach out to. Yeah. And even talking to their own pediatrician type stuff. Like that's how far we go. Yeah. At times, I mean, we don't tell them, "Hey, you should do this." No, it's what should I do?
Well, I think this is another important point too that people need to know. So our mission is creating one-to-one mentoring relationships. Mm-hmm. So that is the mission. That is what it's about. But we do offer resources and tools.
Correct.
To families that are in need. So I think that's important for people to know as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can you share a story of how mentorship positively impacted a young person's life in a transformative way? Can you think of a story?
Well, it's not. I feel like it's not just a story. I feel like it's every time you first have your outing with your big, when the littles have the outing with their big. It's that moment in the car where it's silent. Mm-hmm. The awkward moment.
Yes.
You know?
They like me?
Yeah.
I've gone through it myself. You never know when a kid likes you.
Exactly.
You don't.
And that's what makes it awkward. But then, you know, I sit there and I say to them, I'm like, what could you do to make that awkward moment into a funny core memory? Yeah. All it takes is that acknowledging that was an awkward moment.
Right. Okay.
You know? And then
So I want to go a little deeper on this too, because what people need to realize too is that mentoring is like a relationship, like anything else, right?
Exactly.
It
that.
ebbs and flows. So you're going to have your good days and you're going to have your bad days.
100.
And I think a lot of times people idealize this, right? They're like, okay, yes, I want to be I want to like help save or be a savior or something like that. And then you get into it and you're expecting it to be perfect all the time.
Correct. And it's not.
And it's not, because guess what? Like, it's a relationship. People get into moods and stuff like that. So what have you seen with that? Like, I'm sure you've had bigs come to you and say, we went out this time, we had a great time, and then we went out another day. And
right.
Yeah.
Well, and I say it to them too, and I have them look at that. What age is your child? What age is your little? You know, you've got an 8-year-old. They're going to be full of energy.
Yes.
You've got a 13-year-old. Oh, they're going to want to be on their phone.
Yeah.
You got to build that boundary. You got to be able to, especially with that 13-year-old that wants to be on their phone all the time.
Right.
But I say for me, when they come at me with, it's high and low. It's high and low, Monica. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? You are a kind, patient person, and that's all it takes. Yeah. Just keep listening. Right. Keep acknowledging. Yeah. That you are there, it's all about that reassurance to that person, to that little.
Because you don't want to necessarily give up too soon.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. In the relationship.
It's going to take time.
It's going to take time.
It's going to take time, for sure. That's why it's called a journey.
Right.
You know?
Yes. So. And it's like anything where you're getting to know someone, even if you're in a relationship. Well, what do you like? What do I like? Right. What do I don't like? Right. You know, it's exploring, right?
Well, and a big part of what I say, too, is during the match meeting. Like a lot of my stuff comes a lot at the match meeting, and it comes through my match support calls as well. But you know, I say to the little, your big can't read your mind, right? So if you're not going to give your opinion, which is wanted, which is needed, how are they going to know, right? You know, so and I remind the bigs too, like, did you ask your little? Yeah. Did you read their mind? Right. If you're able to read their mind, then everything is good. Right. But if you weren't, you show them that, you know. Yeah. Hey, I couldn't get a feel. I couldn't get a read. Right. What were you thinking? Yeah. That's all it takes.
So my little, she's 7. Mm-hmm. And we were at the holiday match party. Mm-hmm. And so we had a blast. We had it at Kiva this year, which was the perfect place to have it. It was. Because let me just tell you, a kid can be a kid there. They can run and yell and scream. And, and I can run and yell and scream as an adult.
Get over here.
Yes, but don't go over there. But we had a blast, and so then it was the holiday, which became really busy,
Right.
and a lot of times, honestly, I don't know if she likes me because I'll drop her off, and I'm expecting a hug or something, and I don't even get like a bye. Like I'll be like, bye, and she'll go in the house. So. After the holiday, I did reach out to her mom, and I was like, hey, I want to do an activity with her on Saturday. And she's like, oh, yeah, great. She's excited. And I'm like, she's excited? And she goes, yeah, she just asked me, when am I going to see Tracy again? And I was like, what? And it just made me feel so good. And I was like, it just goes to show you don't know.
Yep.
But they do. Kids don't. Usually when they act like they don't like you, they like you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and even when they say they like you, believe that they like you.
Right. Oh, believe that. Because they're not going to just hand out, compliments.
Yeah, exactly. But it goes back to the parent though too.
Yeah.
It goes back to your interaction with your parent.
Yes.
That is so important too. And it's a safety concern on our end too. Like we want to make sure our bigs are seeing the parent and knowing the parents there when they drop off or pick up, you know, like that's so important too.
And it's just reiterating too, like match support is supporting the match, but you're ensuring health and safety as well.
Correct.
Yeah. Take your podcast to the next level with Media 22. From top-tier equipment to custom sets and a dedicated producer, we'll make you sound like a pro. We specialize in audio and video podcasts, video editing, content distribution, and live streaming for creators and businesses. Visit media22llc.com today for your free consultation. Media 22, where excellence meets creativity. So what are some of the unique challenges that young people face today, and how can mentorship help address those challenges?
It's being able to have that little share that thought, that feeling to their mentors, and them knowing that their mentor is patient and understanding, and knowing that this is the type of challenge I am having, that it's hard for me to communicate in some way, some form. So they want to be able to know that they're feeling safe with their big, that they're having that sense of calmness with their big to be able to express that. So it's just like, it comes down to that too. Yeah. Because once they see that they have that one adult besides their parent or their guardian that they can talk to, it opens up so much more for them. It really does. So when they're having trouble at school, they know they can go to their teacher and say, hey, I'm having a hard time with this. Right. And it all really comes down to that, is them sharing their thought, their feeling, and stuff like that, to be able to communicate that.
Yeah. So it sounds like you definitely think like a unique challenge is trust.
Right.
Yeah. And I could see that too.
Right.
And I just keep going back to my match, but like just having that moment when you know that they trust you. Right. It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. Because it brings that sense of safetiness. It brings that sense of calmness that they have their one person they can confide in. Right. And again, just like in a relationship, that's exactly where you want to take that.
Right. You want to feel safe, right? Yeah. So what qualities do you think make a good mentor?
What qualities? There's so many.
You've seen a lot.
There's so many.
With
like,
a lot of bigs,
like
so.
For me, I guess it's the relatability that they can have with their little, with that certain age that they have. Like your little is 7, and you're your age, right?
I am, and we don't need to go there, do we?
So that's the difference, right?
It's a huge difference.
So it just comes down to that. It comes down to that commitment, to that communication, to that consistency that you're willing to provide for your family. And I think all of that, it just leads into the type of person that is patient, understanding, that's proactive and engaging. That's what we want.
Well, and so many people think, again, being outreach, well, my life's a mess. I can't be big. And I'm like, it's not about being perfect. It's about being present, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. That too.
Yeah.
That's 1,000% part of it too, being present.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like there's so many people from so many backgrounds, no matter, I was just talking to another big, well, she's a former big, her little just graduated.
Oh, nice.
Is in college now.
Nice.
But she was even saying like some people who hesitate about it, she was like, well, they're not your age. And you were that age once.
Right.
Like, you know.
Right.
I mean, that's what can make you a great mentor. Right?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So we talked about trust. How do you think you build trust, especially like with the big and the little?
Going back again to wanting to build that relationship is following through with what you say.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to tell your parent, I would like to take my little out on Saturday.
Yep.
You show up. That makes a big difference.
Yes.
Or if you cancel,
yeah,
you know, that does. It's surprising how a 7-year-old can know that and your 17-year-old can know that.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about following through too.
It is.
So,
you know what? I can't remember where I was. And people get excited when they learn that, when they know that you work for Big Brothers Big Sisters. So I was somewhere and this guy was like, "Oh, you work for Big Brothers Big Sisters?" He's like, "I had a big when I was growing up." And he was like, "Let me tell you, it made a huge difference just having somebody sit out in the stand and watch my baseball game."
right.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. Like
I mean,
sometimes people just share stuff with you and it just.
Right. It is so like mind-boggling though too, and you just it blows your mind away sometimes too when you talk to your big. Like I had a big that shared with me that their little had never carved a pumpkin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know, and I'm just like just as much as shocked and mind-boggled as he was. I was just like, really?
Yeah.
You know, like that's part of childhood, you know, and that's part of an experience as a child is to be able to do what we think are the natural things that come with the seasons, you know?
Yeah.
So, and here he is sharing with his big, this is my first time carving a pumpkin.
Wow.
So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's those experiences.
Yeah.
Seriously. I love it. What advice would you give to someone considering becoming a mentor but feeling unsure or intimidated?
Well, I love our events.
Yeah.
I love our events.
Yeah.
Our big community events, the gala, the hunt, you know, those are a great way to see what we have to offer. I know at the gala is one of our biggest events, and you know, haven't been able to sit through one just yet.
Right, like enjoy it as a guest.
Yeah,
I hear that.
Yeah, but what I can hear, it does sound amazing. It really does. And seeing some of my matches show up to be on stage, it's like,
I know.
rocket.
I love that. When they, oh my gosh, when they come and like they're presenting or they're doing something. And I'm so glad you mentioned the events because I couldn't agree more. I think that if you're on the fence and you're not sure, we need to invite people to come to the different things that we do, both for Kids' Sake, the hunt, the gala, back to school. You'll get a good sense of the organization, what we do.
Correct.
And we're a fun staff.
We are. Yeah. We are an awesome staff. I love all of our staff members. I mean, we all bring something, right?
We do. We're all unique, aren't we?
We are.
Yes.
And going back to the gala, that's where I got one of my recent bigs. She said she went to the gala with one of her friends and she signed up.
That's great.
And now she's my big. She's been a big now 3 months. So it's like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I even try to encourage people, and I think we should just try to encourage people, like, you know what? You can come and enjoy the event. You can always sponsor both for Kids' Sake team.
Right.
The hunt is so fun because it's a countywide scavenger hunt and get involved in that. But people can actually volunteer for this stuff too if they want.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I think I want to say that it's me and my kids that kind of brought Big Brothers Big Sisters to Sun Prairie.
Yeah, good.
Because I know there's children waiting in Sun Prairie, but I have my kids wear our logo all the time.
Good. Yeah, they're our little ambassadors.
Yes, they are. So
Good.
it's like, you know, I have Tiago wearing his shirt to his school, and it's just like, you know, I see teachers like, do you work for them? I'm like, yeah, I work for them.
Yeah.
I have for 3 years. So
yeah. It's awesome, the conversation it'll bring up no matter where you go.
Right.
I mean, I've been in the airport and you got that big old B on.
Yep.
And you're like, oh my gosh, you work for Big Brother. I'm like, yes, I do.
Yep.
Yes. What kind of support are you seeing that parents need through this? You know, I wonder about that, and I'd love to hear from your perspective because I feel like parents need mentors. I really do. It's tough out here.
It is tough. I mean, being a parent there's no book. Right. There's no those books for dummies or anything like that, or whatever that is, Right. There's none of that out there. And there are times where it is hard for us parents to really find that way. And that's why I love that the program is available to us. But for me, what I've been seeing is just sometimes that basic communication. Yeah. Is if they can have that phone number. Yes. Just consistent for a long period of time. Yeah. Instead of having it changed, constantly without having to update, me or their big, I feel like that's something to be able to support them in that way. I'm like, email me with any way you can, like try to figure out that way. But I feel like, that's the type of support that is tough for some parents, is just the communication, because they can't keep it. Right. Well, they're doing everything. Yeah, they're trying to. So they're trying to do everything. It's hard. Yeah.
And I think obviously being a match support, I mean, you don't have to have children or whatever, but I think it probably helps that you have kids of your own and you understand if a parent's calling, things that they're going through as a parent.
Right. I mean, it is, and I think for me, a lot of my parents get that, and they know that I get that, so and they appreciate that. So it's just like, I feel like that's why some of my parents and I just really, really do get along. Yeah. So.
Oh, I can see that. I can definitely see that. So for listeners who aren't able to be mentors, what are other ways they can contribute to the mission of Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Well, I say going back to the events, going to check out our website, calling the office. Call the office. Yeah. If you're talking to a friend that is a big, give them their match support phone number and say, hey, I have this person that's interested, just wants to get to know a little more. Can you talk to them about it? Yeah. That's the type of stuff that, I really would love for more bigs that have friends that want to do that. Yes. But, because I would be willing to talk to them. Say, hey, that's a good idea. This is what we're about. I know we have like a committee of some sort where we can have, people that aren't interested in joining.
Yeah, you can join a committee, and then eventually join a committee, maybe be on the board, be a monthly donor. Yep. Like you said, volunteer for an event. Yep. Sometimes people just want to volunteer. And then also, too, I don't think we touched on this, but I think this is important as well with the events or activities. So as a match support, sometimes bigs matches they don't know what to do with their little. Correct. And so you kind of navigate that as well, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, we have what's called the Event Hub. That's where we get a lot of donated tickets. Yeah. And unfortunately, it is at a first come, first serve basis. Yeah. So I really try to get out there, and I know a lot of the other match sports do as well. They tell their bigs, check it often. Right. At least 2 to 3 times a week. Yes. Because tickets come and go. And the best part is hockey tickets, UW athletic department tickets, like the football games, basketball games, volleyball, like all that kind of stuff is on there. And it has the list for discounts, where we have wonderful, wonderful people that give us discounts to like Sky Zone and stuff like that. So it's just having all that is on there is wonderful.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing people need to know too, One of the things is time. People worry about their time. But then another is like, well, what will I do with them? And so we do so many events throughout the year. Correct. Whether it be, like we were mentioning, Bowl for Kids' Sake, the Hunt. But we also do match events.
Yes, we do.
We do great at those.
Group mentoring. Yeah. We do just regular match events, like you were saying. I know a big one that's coming up is the ski event. It's already full. I think
people love that every year. It sells out at Tyrol.
I think it was filled within 24 hours. Yes, probably even less than that.
Yeah, that is a popular one.
Yes, it is.
We also, it is. We also do a Halloween event.
Yeah, we do a Halloween event. I know we do an archery event. We do crafts.
I did crafts. So that was great.
We do during the summer. We do the ski event and the water ski event.
Oh.
And we do with Madison ski team.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
nice.
we do wingward boats as well. So
nice.
we try to really look at the seasons and try to say, okay, what's appropriate for spring, summer, winter, fall.
Right,
You know, we really do. And we also try to see what's age appropriate as well.
Yes.
You know, we really want to try to involve the 6-year-old all the way up to the 18-year-old.
Right.
You know, so we really, really are looking at that too. So it's just like, you're not left out. We know your age.
Yes. That's awesome. So we have tons of events. And then if it's outside of that time, if you're trying to figure out activities to do, you can call your match support.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. We have, and I guess I had one parent that has helped me out.
Yeah.
She's really good at finding events on Facebook.
Oh, great.
So it's
okay.
I'm like, okay, share that list with me, please.
Right.
Please.
Yes.
So then I can share it out to the bigs. So
exactly.
It's really nice to have that rapport with parents too, that really are out there in the community too, because they share that.
Yeah. It's all about relationships. That's for sure. All right. Well, we are wrapping up this podcast episode. See, it went by, didn't it?
It did. And I do have to say, Tracy, I do remember on 93.1.
Oh, you do?
I do remember your voice on 93.1. I'm like,
I didn't know that you know that. Okay.
I do.
Well, yes. Well, in wrapping up this podcast episode, I want to ask, what are some ways others in the community can make a big difference in the lives of youth through mentorship?
I think our community is just so strong.
Yes.
It really is. And just knowing that we can come together when it needs to happen, we can do it. But I feel like our agency with our children that we have, you know, just donate whatever you can, whenever you can, and just still inquire with us too. Yeah. If you have those questions, it's like doing all that kinds of stuff is really showing that your community matters.
Yeah. And I think you make such a good point, and I'm glad that you said that, because I don't think people realize the programs are free, you know, to the matches, to the bigs, to our littles. And so that's why we're out here fundraising all year, every year.
You bring something up too, is that I had during a match meeting, I had a parent ask me, well, what do you guys pay the bigs? We don't pay the bigs. No. The bigs are all volunteer. They volunteer their time. They volunteer their money. Yes. So this is all on them. This is part of them being a mentor and knowing that this is what they give back to their community. Yeah. So
we have so many incredible bigs.
We really do.
We really, really do.
And you're one of them.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I love being a big. I really do. Yeah. I feel like it's just added a lot to my
and
life,
you're little. She's
energetic.
She's great. Yeah.
7 and really cute, but she is energetic. Like when you were saying 8 years old, they have a lot of energy.
Yep.
I have to take my vitamins, let me tell you.
Love it. You want some Rockstar?
I'm going to need some. We'll have to talk after the podcast because I'm going to need something. So, well, thank you all for listening to the Big Difference podcast, a podcast about empowering youth and strengthening communities through the transformative power of mentorship. I'm your host, Tracy Anderson, Community Partnerships Manager at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. And again, I want to thank my amazing guest today, Monica Martinez with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. Thank you for joining me today to talk about match support specialists.
I was just like a little that was super, super excited to do this. So
just flew in here, just full of sunshine. I love it.
I was ready to go.
Yeah.
And now I don't want to leave.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. You can stay.
All right. Let's do it.
Well, if you want to learn more about Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County, you can visit our website at bbbsmadison.org. That's bbbsmadison.org. It's all about making the big difference. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Looking for an exciting way to get outside and support a great cause? Join The Hunt, a fun, adventurous series of missions that will have you exploring the beauty of Dane County while raising money for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Teams of up to 10 people can participate, making it the perfect opportunity to bring together friends, family, colleagues, bigs, littles, and anyone who loves a little friendly competition. From April 25th through May 18th, take on engaging challenges, explore your community, and make a positive impact along the way. Sign up your team today or get your company involved by sponsoring the event. Don't miss out on the fun. You can visit bbbsmadison.org/events to get started. The Hunt, adventure, competition, and giving back.